What's going on, everybody? It is great to have you with us. Welcome to another episode of The Optimist versus the Pessimist. I'm the Curmudgeon. He's the Punk. It is great to have you with us. Now that the regular season is upon us, we're going to pick the Vikings schedule again and see if we've made any changes. I'm guessing you have a few more losses on your schedule, but before we do, please, if you haven't already done so, smash that subscribe button and help us grow this channel. And ring that notification bell so that on occasion YouTube might actually send you the notification. And hit that like button. Are you ready? Indeed. I originally had them going 3-4 with victories over Tampa Bay, the Chargers, and the Carolina Panthers. I think this defense is going to be well improved enough, Punk, that I'm going to change my pick. This Ivan Pace kid has really impressed me, and if he can contain Justin Fields' running ability, I'll go ahead and give the Vikings a victory in Chicago. So now I have them 4-3 through the first 7. They're still going to lose to Philly. They're still going to lose to Kansas City. And yes, they're still going to lose to San Francisco. That offensive and defensive line is just going to be too much. But 4-3 for this first 7-game stretch, that's pretty daggone good if you ask me. Well, I'm glad you finally came around to the fact that the Vikings are going to sweep the Bears this year, and they will beat the San Francisco 49ers, regardless of their offensive line and defensive line being superior to ours, because we have the superior quarterback. I actually think that if this Jones situation doesn't resolve itself soon, and he misses that game against us, we have an actual shot of beating Patrick Mahomes. You're not serious. Patrick Mahomes only needs to beat the Vikings to complete the sweep of the rest of the NFL. He's not going to wait another 4 years. With or without that Jones character, he's going to be too much. I'm not officially changing my prediction. I'm still going to go with 5-2 through these 7 games, but I'm telling you right now, that Kansas City game is going to be closer than people think. While the Vikings will be short one day after coming off the Monday Night Football victory against the San Francisco 49ers, I actually am going to predict that the Vikings will go 5-0 in this stretch. Yes, well, regardless of the fact that it will be a short week from the San Francisco game. And you're right, San Francisco, because they have a physical offensive and defensive lines, do give teams trouble the next week. They're still going to destroy the Packers. Yeah, I'm going to come down on my multiple touchdown victory against the Dirty Birds. They're still going to beat the Falcons. They're terrible. They're a couple of years away. I still have them going 4-1 in this stretch. There's part of me that does want to give them the Denver win. But if I'm being honest, that means I'd kind of have to maybe consider giving them the Saints loss. I think they're going to split those 2 games. Your point is well seen that, yes, they're both 50-50 games, but I'm telling you right now, Curmudgeon, they're going to go 5-0 in that stretch and be 10-2 at the bye week. I'm going to keep my 4-1 there. So, you know what? Having them go 8-4 into the bye week with this schedule is still pretty daggone good. No need to take a whole lot of time in the next 2 games. They're going to beat the Raiders. They're going to lose to the Bengals. If the Bengals game was in early November or late October, I might give them a shot there. But in the middle of December, I'm sorry. Joe Burrow's going to be too much. This is going to surprise you. I'm keeping my prediction at 1-1 for these 2 games, but I'm telling you, the Vikings are going to keep that Cincinnati game close. Joe Burrow and the Bengals are going to have a gauntlet of a division when you consider that they have Baltimore, Pittsburgh, and Cleveland's going to have a little something to say there too. I'm still predicting that it's going to be a 1-1 stretch, and after 14 games, the Vikings will be 11-3. 9-5 through 14 games. Still a pretty good pace for the Vikings, if you ask me. This is going to be really simple. They will beat the Lions. That will all but clinch the division. They will officially clinch the division to ring in the new year against the Packers, destroying them again. And guess what? That game against the Lions will still be meaningless. That will put them into the 3 seed. They will not have a shot at the 2 seed. So they will play Jaron Hall and rest a bunch of their starters because the Lions will still have something to play for. Let's make short order out of this. The Vikings will win all 3 of those games. They will beat the Lions. They will beat the Packers to ring in the new year, and they will still be playing for the number 2 seed. I'm sorry. It's going to happen that way. They will beat the Lions. They will eliminate the Lions from playoff contention, and the Vikings will be the 2 seed. Regular season of 11-6. Up 1 game from the original prediction, ladies and gentlemen. See, the Curmudgeon isn't so negative all the time, is he? Here's how the NFC playoffs are going to go. The Eagles are going to win the East, the 49ers the West, the Vikings the North, and the Saints will win the South. The Cowboys will get the 5th seed. Seattle Sea Chickens will be the 6th seed. And the Detroit Lions will squeak in as the 7th seed in the NFC this season. Punk, the Vikings will squeak out a 3-point victory against the Seattle Sea Chickens. The Cowboys will destroy the Saints. And the Detroit Lions will pull off the upset and beat the San Francisco 49ers. Oh, really? Wow. Didn't see that one. They will promptly lose to the Philadelphia Eagles in the divisional round. But as somebody who has gone on record multiple times saying that Kirk Cousins, for whatever you want to say about him, good, bad, or indifferent, has a glass ceiling of the division round of the playoffs, I've also said the same thing about Dak Prescott. So guess what? There's one way to get Kirk past the divisional round. Put him up against another quarterback that can't get past the divisional round of the playoffs. You heard it here first. Cowboys at the Vikings, divisional round of the playoffs. One of those two quarterbacks that have been told over and over again they can't win a championship or get to an NFC championship game at the very least will get there. You're on your own after that. I don't know if I'm coming around to your way of thinking or that you're coming around to mine. The Eagles will win the East. The Vikings will win the North. The 49ers, the West. And yes, I agree with you. The Saints will win that garbage South division. The Cowboys at the 5 seed, the Seattle Sea Chickens as the 6 seed, and the New York Football Giants will squeak into the playoffs, and the Vikings will get their revenge because Ed Donachelle will not be our defensive coordinator. We will beat Daniel Jones and company on to the next round. The Dallas Cowboys will destroy the Saints, and guess what? The 49ers will beat the Sea Chickens in the playoffs again. We will host the 49ers. We will beat the 49ers, and guess what? The Dallas Cowboys will upset the Philadelphia Eagles. It will be the Vikings and the Cowboys in the NFC Championship game, ladies and gentlemen. Ha! I thought I was crazy to get one of them to the NFC Championship game by having them face each other. You really had to work on that one, didn't you? Not only do I have Kirk Cousins and Dak Prescott getting past the divisional round of the playoffs, it wasn't because they faced each other. It's because they both got through their glass ceiling. Vikings host the Cowboys, NFC Championship game. Write that down. And you're on your own after that. But those are my thoughts, such as they were. Let me know yours. Hit that like button, smash that subscribe button, put it in the comments. What do you think the Vikings record will ultimately be, and how far do you think this team will go? Thank you kindly, as always, for joining me. And for now, SKOL to the next episode.